Hi Gandhi class, welcome to your second maths lesson this week. Now, we are going to be moving on to a new topic, and our new topic is fractions. So in year 2, when we looked at fractions, you learnt to recognise the whole and equal parts, to recognise and find a half, to recognise and find a quarter, to understand unit fractions, and to count in halves and quarters. Now in year 3, you're going to be learning to make a whole with unit and non-unit fractions, explore tenths as fractions, understand fractions as numbers, and calculate fractions of a set of objects. So we're going to be recapping making equal parts, and our learning objective for today's lesson is, can I make equal parts? So in today's lesson, we're going to recap our learning from year 2 so that we are able to understand what one whole is, to know a whole can be made up of parts, to explain the difference between equal and unequal parts. But before we begin, please can you get your mini whiteboard out and ready and answer these 4 questions. Pause the video now and press play when you're ready to go through the answers. Okay, so question number 1 says, which children go to chess and cooking club? So let's have a look at our table below. Now we're interested in the children that go to both chess and cooking club. So let's have a look along. Sam, he goes to chess club, but not cooking club, so we're not interested in him. Beth goes to chess and cooking club. Great, so we've got 1. Tim goes to cooking club, but not chess club, so we're not interested in him. Jane doesn't go to either of them, and Paul goes to chess and cooking club. So well done if you wrote down Beth and Paul. Hannah buys a comic for £3.75. How much change does she get from a £10 note? So you needed to do here £10, take away £3.75, which would give you the answer of £6.25. Well done if you got that correct. Question number 3 says, what is 32 divided by 8? So you needed to share 32 into 8 equal groups, which would give you the answer of 4. Well done if you got that correct. And question number 4 says, which is greater, 345 or 354? So you're looking for the number with the highest value, which is 354. Well done if you got that correct. Okay, so let's have a look at this question here. Now you need your whiteboard, and I want you to draw a rectangle. You're then going to draw one line to divide the shape into 2 equal parts. But what do we mean by that word equal? Pause the video to have a think. Well done. So by equal, we mean the same. So the 2 parts are going to be the same size. This is your whole, and you're going to divide it into 2 equal parts. So what I want you to do now is pause the video, draw your rectangle, and divide it into 2 equal parts. Okay, so you could have drawn the line going vertically down the middle of your rectangle. You could have drawn the line going horizontally through your rectangle, or you could have drawn it going diagonally through your rectangle. It could have also been going this way as well. Now we know that these are equal because if you have a look at each part, they are the same size. So therefore they are equal parts of the whole. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. So on your whiteboard, you need to draw a rectangle again, and you're going to draw one line to divide the shape into 2 unequal parts. So what do we mean by the word unequal? Pause the video to have a think. Well done. So by unequal, we mean they are not the same. So the 2 parts are going to not be the same size. So pause the video, to have a go at drawing out this rectangle and dividing it into two unequal parts. Okay, so you could have had something that looks a little bit like one of these. Now we know that they're unequal because one side is much larger than the other. So one of these parts is much larger than the other part. And you can see that in all of these shapes. It didn't really matter where you put your line as long as you made sure that they were unequal. So one part would have been much bigger than the other part. Okay, let's have a go at this one. Which of the triangles has been divided into equal parts? You need to write the letter on your whiteboard. So you've got A, B, C, and D. Which ones of these have been divided into equal parts? Now, there may be more than one. So pause the video to write your answers on your whiteboard. Okay, so well done. If you put B, C, and D. So B is equal into equal parts because we can see that that line is going straight down the middle and both parts are the same size. Again, with C, we've got a line straight through this part here. So the line is in a different place, but both sides are still equal. They're the same size. Now, D has been split into 4 equal parts, but each part is the same size. So therefore it is equal, even though it's been split up more. A is not equal because you can see that this part here is a lot bigger than this part here. Okay, let's have a look at these shapes. So you've got 4 shapes. You've got a triangle, a square, a rectangle, and a circle. And I want you to have a think about what you notice about each of these shapes. So pause the video to have a think. Okay, well done if you said that each shape has 4 equal parts. So we can see that our triangle here has been split into 4 equal parts. Our square has been split into 4 equal parts. Our rectangle has also been split into 4 equal parts, and our circle has been split into 4 equal parts. So that's what was the same about each of these shapes. Okay, let's have a look at this one. So this question says, how many equal parts does each shape have? And you need to write the answers on your whiteboard. So you're going to write A and then tell me how many equal parts it has. Then you'll do the same for B, C, and D. So pause the video to write this on your whiteboard now. Okay, so let's have a look at A. So A, we can see, has been split into 1, 2 equal parts. So you should have written 2 for A. B has been split into 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. So you should have written 4 for B. C has been split into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal parts. So you should have written 8. And D has been split into 1, 2, 3 equal parts. So you should have written 3. Okay, can you split the sweets into 2 equal groups? And then you need to answer the questions, well, fill in the sentences underneath. So we need to split them into 2 equal groups. But first of all, we need to count how many there are all together because this will help us to split it into equal groups. So let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 sweets altogether. Now we need to think about how they can be split into equal parts. Now we said here we want 2 equal groups. So they can be split then into 2 equal parts. But we need to think about how many are going to be in each part. How can we do that? Pause the video to have a think. Okay, so we need to share them by 2. So we would do 6 divided by 2, which would then give us 1, 2, 3. So there are 6 sweets altogether. They can be split into 2 equal parts, and there are going to be 3 in each part. Okay, now it's your turn. You need to choose between activity 1, 2, or 3, and then you can challenge yourself further with the challenge questions. So this is activity number 1. How can this grid be split into equal parts? So here are some examples of how it could be split into equal parts. Now what you need to do is draw the grid out. It's 4 by 4 squares and split it into equal parts. As an extension, can the grid be split in any more ways? So you need to draw it out and then you can colour it in equal parts. So pause the video if you are going to be completing activity number 1. Okay, activity number 2. How many ways can you find to split the quantities into equal amounts? So you've got, in the first group, you've got squares, then you've got strawberries, or sorry, they're cubes actually. So in the first group, you've got cubes, then in the next group, you've got strawberries. In the next group, you've got those blocks that you can put together. And then in the last group, you have got donuts. So you need to draw pictures to represent this and then write the sentences. So have a look at the cubes first. You need to tell me how many cubes there are altogether, how many they can be split into equal parts for, and how many would be in each part. Then you go on to strawberries, answer the questions again, then onto the cubes, answer a question again, and then onto the donuts and answer the question again. So pause the video here if you are completing activity number 2. And activity number 3, Ron and Amir are making equal groups. They have 18 counters. You can see that Ron has made 6 equal groups and Amir has made 3 equal groups. Can you make any other equal groups with 18 counters? So you're going to need to draw it out and show me and tell me how many equal groups you have made. Pause the video here if you are going to be completing activity number 3. And the challenge. So you've got 4 questions that you can answer. I can split a square into 4 equal parts in more than 4 different ways. True or false, prove it with drawing. So you need to say true and then prove it by drawing it. Or false and then prove it by drawing it. Then it says, if I split this into 4 equal parts, there will be 4 in each group. Is Ben correct? Explain your answer. So you would say, yes, he's correct because, or no, he's not correct because. Then you've got this question, how can this shape be split into 3 equal parts? Show your answer on the shape below. And then can you split it into 4 equal parts? And then the very last one says, split the shapes into equal parts. So you've got a diamond here, and then you've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a pentagon here. And you need to split them into equal parts. Please make sure you upload your work to Tapestry Gandhi class, and I will see you next time. Bye.